Well, my father's been in the car industry for about 30 years now, and about the last 6 years I have worked in the industry.
Look at that. Oh, I love that car. It's a lot of wheels. It's like a Lamborghini, yeah.
I'm a huge car nut.
I've been a car nut all my life.
Can you creatively describe what your ideal form of transportation in the future would be? Like shape, colors, size, personalization?
Okay. I would definitely have, like the inside, the size of a car that seats 5, that also has wings on it.
My car would fly. I'm going to invent a flying car.
Flying car.
To fly? I wish my car could fly.
So does someone want to tell me something that they like about their car? What do you like about your car?
There's wheels.
Yeah? Yeah?
Why are you drawing spikes on the tire?
And because then my tires won't pop and everything else that tries to break the tires will break instead.
I like it.
I like where your mind's at.
My car's gonna be super fast, like sort of races.
How do you think people will move around in these future cities?
I believe that there is going to be a lot of different forms of transportation, perhaps like cars without people driving, like as a form of like Lyft or Uber, but instead you can just call a car to come pick you up. Or there could be, like if we go really far into the future, I think that we could go even to like mini like helicopters that are like the size of a car, but are also like have enough buoyancy that they would be able to go on water if you're going on farther pieces of land that can travel.
So I think we're very much going towards a system of shared mobility. We're already seeing that with trends with like Uber and other rideshare services like Lyft, where more and more people don't want to own cars, right? They want the convenience, but they don't want to have the burden of ownership, or they maybe don't use it. Or if you're living in a dense area, even the cost of storing or insuring a car can be quite high. And so as we get into an era of shared mobility, we also want to make sure it's a value-added opportunity, right? So a lot of people don't take a bus because it's inconvenient, or they don't like the experience of riding a bus, right? in some cities and states, it's not as great as it is maybe even here in the Valley, right? So, but getting people to want to change their habits and do something that's more efficient, even more cost-effective.
Well, I think obviously traffic congestion is becoming a real problem, and in larger cities, prime real estate is used for parking lots, and it's just a shame to use that real estate for that purpose. So I think more and more people will be willing to take some kind of form of public transportation. I think the small shuttle buses are maybe a little more personal. Not everybody's ready to jump on a big bus yet. They're not very comfortable with that, or even the train. So this is a little more, I think, less threatening for a lot of people who need some local transportation.
What do you think this would cost?
I do believe it would cost a great deal of money, but I think as technology advances, the prices would reduce. But as of right now, I don't think we have the technology to do that necessarily.
I'd say the biggest change I've personally had. I'm a huge car nut, so and I'm a petrol head. So, on the surface, it was different for me, right? Because I came from kind of more traditional mindset. And one of the things that actually changed it for me personally was my involvement with our Accessibility program about a year and a half ago, where I really, came into a program and had to solve the problem of how do we work with people with disability needs? How could this vehicle actually enable them to give them better quality of life and more access to reliable transportation? It was something I really kind of drove me to focus on some of that segment of the market, where there's an underserved population that needs the accessibility and equality that everybody else has. And so one of the missions of this vehicle is to be more inclusive around accessibility technologies as we go forward, to make sure that that part of the population is served correctly and fairly.
So what do you think the future of the car looks like?
And I'm hoping that there'll be ride sharing with autonomous cars. So one network of people who need it at night, people who need it in the day, can all use the same vehicle.
What kind of car do you drive?
Well, we have two cars. We have a Prius and a Tesla Model X.
Okay, interesting. And does that Tesla drive itself, or?
It does.
It has like a self-parking. It can self-park, but it doesn't like drive.
Yeah, we have the auto. We do have the self-driving feature, but we don't use it that much because we haven't. It's a little hard to bridge that gap of confidence, but we've done it for a few minutes.
I think we've used it once.
A few times.
Yeah.
A few times on a highway.
Yes. Like 10 years ago, did you think that that you'd have this type of car that would be like this?
That we would personally have this type of car? Yeah, I've always wanted to have a car that didn't run on gas, and I'd heard about electric cars, I'd seen about it. So I was hoping we would have it, and it seems like the natural way that things are going, so I'm not surprised that we are where we are. I wish we were further along. I wish the oil companies didn't quash them back in the 70s.
Yeah. So do you feel like Tesla's like the future of the car, or what do you think the future of the car is?
I think Tesla's pretty much the future of cars because they're just pretty much better than any other electric car on the market right now.
And their charging system is really amazing. We drove across country in our Tesla, and for free, supercharging all the way across and back, and they were everywhere. Right? There was never a problem.
So what do you think the future of the car is going to look like?
I think it would have to be a lot more environment friendly. You have to have a lot more careful with emissions and having problems with the atmosphere. Be able to sustain more people as the population continues to increase. Different ways of traveling other than just on roads, trains and stuff. Maybe a better type of flying or better type of boating or submarines and stuff so you can transport better.
Awesome. And do you think the Tesla's anything like the future of the
fossil fuels? And I think that if people continue to go further using that idea, bringing more solar or different ways of types of energy, so it's even better for the environment. I think it could really make a big difference.
Awesome. That's all for today. What do you think the future of the car looks like?
Actually, to be honest with you, first of all, the electric car I think is amazing. But I was just telling the guys in there, when I was in college, which was in the 70s, so I'm much older than you guys, we actually did a small solar car.
Oh, really?
And it ran off solar power. Why aren't we doing that, especially here in Arizona? So you could do an electric car powered by solar, powered by solar panels on the roof.
Yeah.
And I know there's some out there now in the world, but that's where I see it going. It's more like solar power. Solar powered cars.
That's perfect. And then, do you think like the Tesla's the future car, or just mainly the solar panels?
No, I do believe Tesla and things like Volt and Leaf are the future of cars, but they have to go back again to making it affordable for people to buy. And that's the tough, because first you had some credits, tax credits for the cars. Well, now the current government is trying to take those away. So it's making it not affordable. I mean, I personally can't spend $60,000 for a Tesla. So I know they've brought the base model down, but it's still not cheap.
Yeah, no.
So they have to work on the cost of those. So that's my main thought about the electric cars. But I do think they're a future, and I can't wait to buy one myself.
Awesome. Perfect.